Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in the last video what we did was your passive composite, and in this video we are going to proceed further with 2024 question in the French certification exam of Delhi University. So let me open the paper and see where we have reached. So yeah, we just increase the size. Okay, so we have covered a question from 17 to 12, and we are going to do the 11th one today. So let me just grab my pen. All right, let's try to read this up and understand what exactly it means to say, and then we will move further and solve this up, and I'll explain this concept on the open board for you. So let's begin. It says complete the text with, so this stand for with, and this is your or y. So basically the question is saying that we have to write either en or y in these five fill ups, and this is of 5 marks. So let's read what exactly it is, and then we will understand the concept on which basis we can decide whether it should be en or y. So it says list authors, that means the others. So basically this stand for others, and this is for the plural. So the others who or cinema. So basically the others go, this stand for go, and this stand for two, and this stand for cinema. Okay, so basically wo o cine. Then it says moi, so it stand for me. J ne pass Amedo. So basically, this is for to go, and this is for like. And if you remember, when we were doing the first video of this series, I talk about negation or basically negative sentences. So here he's saying J ne pass like to. So basically, he's saying while others like to go to cinema, I don't like to go there. Okay. Oh, bowling. So basically, he's saying, uh, are we going for bowling? So, okay. So basically, he's asking someone that are we going for bowling? Okay. So it says, are we going? So basically, if you remember, this is again we did in the part 3 series of video of this questionnaire series itself, and this was stand for your passive composite, which means to go. Okay, and it's an irregular verb, so that's why this question is coming up, are we going? So just remember that all these videos have connected things, so you need to watch all of them in order to understand and deal with your exam. But yeah, let's move further with this question right now here. Then it says Kasif Q2. So basically, it is actually asking a question, and this pense is basically your verb. So it's a penser, the verb is, and which means to think. So, and Castiquio, basically, Castiquio is a use to ask question in French. So the question is, what do you think about it? What do you think about my plan? So basically, the entire sense of this passage till this point is, while others like to go to cinema, I don't like being there. Are we going for bowling? What do you think about my plan? So now the person who's actually being asked, he is going to reply. So okay, no, right now if you see, he is still asking the question. So I just read two here. So he's still asking, you as envy the other. So you basically like to go. He's saying. So you like to come or you like to go with me. This is what he is saying. So what do you think about the plan? You like to come? You like to go? Now let's read further on. So basically here I see that we have S apostrophe rencontre. Rencontre means encounter and coming back or meeting someone. So it's encounter. Okay. On honest rencontre directment. Okay. So basically, will you come directly? So the questions are going on about the bowling plan, what the other person is thinking, they would like to come, or they would like to go together, or they're going to meet directly on the spot. Fast up top. So basically, now the answer is coming, not too early. So the other person is saying, no, not too early. This one at 5. So basically, he's saying that at 5 we can try. Okay. uh, this one means basically, let's say to tell, so to suppose, okay, so it's, let's say at 5. So basically he has suggested a time and mentioned that I have not decided anything too early. J Jacob, the divorce, this refers to homework. So to do homework, okay, so he's saying that I have to do the homework, and it is again saying 2 hours toy. So what about you? Do you have any homework or not? So the person has again questioned back to the first person who was actually asking about the cinema part. Okay, so this was the entire sense of the passage. Now let's move to the board and try to understand how we decide between en and y and which one to use. Okay, so I'll just move to open board, and I'll just write down the topic here. So we need to understand when exactly we use en and when you use y. Okay, so let's begin with the y first. What does it mean? So it means there. Okay, so in English when we say are you there, so in French you generally use y at that place. Okay, now how to recognize that this should come? So it comes at several places. A place which is introduced by some common words you need to remember. If you see those words, then it simply means that y is going to come here. So it, these are some words: uh, dans, sur, so. Meanwhile, if you remember, I have covered this word as your future tense when we were doing A3. So this is a form of that verb. This was done in this video series part 1. Okay, so she's and some more, etc. I can write type of these. However, these are the most common which I have written. So, if a place has been introduced using these words, it simply means there should be a Y. So, the rule for this is it will come like this. Then a place or a location will be talked about in your sentence, and based on that you need to understand that it should be followed by Y. Okay, then there is another part of it, and it should be always used for a thing. Okay, so it should not be used for a person but a thing introduced by a. Okay, and it should not be a person. So whenever you see a with your accent, then you generally understand that it can be followed by a Y. You just have to make sure it should be a thing and not a person, or at least a place. Okay, so it should be a thing. This is the second rule. Then comes the third rule, and this is going to actually help you a lot in these kind of questions. Okay, there are some common verbs. So I'll just write common verbs that uses a often take y. Okay, so it goes like this. All a. So when this arrive, you have to just write y all. Okay, so basically, if you remember, this a is the one which is actually doing help to us by telling us what exactly should be coming. So it is going to be at3, then you just write y in your at3. If there is pressure or, then you write y pencil. If it is your pondri or, then you write y repondro. Then if it is your s in dresser, then you write s y in t dresser. And if you have s y re contro, and if you have say re contro, or then we generally write s y re contro. So if you were paying attention while I was reading, we saw some of them there. We saw this and this in our text, and even this. However, once I'll move back and we solve the problem, I'll explain how exactly they're coming. But I was just telling you that when I was reading the passage, I noticed these are the three There could be more also, but as far as I remember. Okay, let me add a new word, and let's move to the part where exactly en is used, so we can understand the whole concept and solve the problem. So en is actually stand for some words which are of it. So I'll just put this like this: of it, of them, some, or from there. Okay. So what exactly it means is it usually stand for if you are coming from somewhere, then you can say from there. If you have something and you want to tell that it belongs to whom, then someone will say it belongs to them, it is of them. So in those cases we generally use it. So let me write down the rules here for it. So we have an indefinite quantity. Whenever we have no definition how much it is, we generally depends on en. Okay, so the rule for this is en should be the plus noun in, and when this is coming, then we know where quantity is not specified. So in the entire passage we look through, if there is any case where this d is coming with a noun and without specifying the quantity, we know that it's a case of in. I need to, yeah. All right, so let's move to the next one. So it says the rule is a thing introduced by d. So for us, the rules then become en should be with de plus a thing. So it could be anything, but it should be introduced by de. So if you notice that with a we were using y, and with the en whenever the thing is coming, it is coming with de, then only we use en. Okay. Now third rule is a place of origin. From there we some origin from there, basically you are coming from, or the rule is belonging to, like from there I am coming. When you see sentences like this, then we use en. So we can write en is the plus place, and you are coming from, basically this place should be mentioned. Where are you coming from, that part. Okay. So now the fourth rule: common verbs that uses the, and often take in are. So I'll just write those words. So one is aware. Aware is to make, to do. something to have. So avoid, usually when I say avoid envy, means to want. It simply means to want or to do something or to make to do something to feel like. So avoid envy the we generally like. Okay. So this always come with your en. Then when you talk about something, so you can say pensar the. So basically to think. Uh, Let me just take this. Okay, do to think and about it. Okay, so I have no clue how to get rid of this. I don't know how it came, but anyway, avoid that part. Then the next one is avoid this one. So this simply means to need. So if you see, generally we have this avoid where exactly it is coming, and we are using this part. Okay, okay. So and this these should also be noticed. I'll just write down the last one and then I'll explain. So avoid quantity they to have some. Okay. Now let me just grab this. Yeah. So the thing is, this the is what actually helping us to understand that whether we have to use en or we have to use your y. And there are some common expression also which comes with en and y. Before that, let me just do one thing. Let me just summarize this for you before we move to other parts. So if I'll just write down the way with differences. So if suppose this is en and this is y, and I just try to write down what exactly the difference between them. So the thing is, Ian's, if I'll just say here I'm writing meaning, then for Ian it is always of it, of them, some, from there. Okay, we just this one did this one. Okay, for Y we either have there, to it, at it, about it. All right. So basically, in case of place also, it is saying coming from there, and it is saying at it. Okay. Then let's see what exactly they replace. So in instead of something which I have to say, I can write en. So if I have de and I have to write a thing or a place, then I can use en. Similarly, if I have this and I have to write about a thing or a place, then I can use y. So if you remember that some place introduced by this, I can use y there, and if we are talking about some place with de, then I can actually use en there. Okay. Let's talk about the quantity. So in en, we just studied that it should be unspecified. We should not know how much quantity is there. And this one, why it is not used for quantity at all. So once it come with quantity, we definitely pretty sure that en is the one which should be used. Okay, then comes the origin. So origin is coming from a place for en, and for y it is going to or being at a place. This was clear when it says about it and from there. So if you remember the passage we were reading for this, it was talking about going to bowling. So it simply means going to. Okay, you're getting me? Yeah. So once we are there, when we try to solve it, we will understand better. Now let's talk about the position. So where exactly it comes? So it usually comes before the verb. Similarly, if I talk about this one, it also comes usually before the verb. So both of them come before the verb. And if I talk about negation, in case we are using ENO, then what actually happened? So we write NE, and then we write EN, and then we write the verb, and then we write us. So if you remember, the verb, we are not going, something like that, then we use en. Okay, then this is used as NEY verb in plus. All right, so this is how they are being used, and I'll just draw a line in red for you for the differences to be very clear, which is used for what. And once you know this, then of course it gets very easy to solve. Okay, so yeah, that is the entire table. And let me just before proceeding to the question, give you final important stuff, that is the common expressions with the en and y. So in case you have these kind of expressions, you just catch up in the exam what exactly has to be done. So I'll just write those with en and y. Okay. So the first one is J1 way. So basically it means I'm going there. So if you notice now, when I'm saying I'm going there, I'm talking about a place, some place I'm going to. That's why we are using y. Okay. And another important thing to note, which we just studied, this is a verb. So what we studied is before the verb it will come. Okay. Similarly, on one one. Okay. It means let's go there. So this is again from the passage itself, and because she's saying let's go there, so it is again some place they want to go, and this is used for go. So this is a verb, and before verb it is coming. Okay. Next common sentence is to a view. Okay. It means do you want some? Now, when I say, do you want some? It involves something which I'm giving, but I have not specified quantity. Do you want 5 pieces, 6 pieces, or something? Anything. So, because I have not specified you want anything, it is used with in. Okay, and this is again the verb, so it is coming before the verb. Similarly, the next sentence is Zia I Asi. So it says I had enough of it. Now enough of it means enough of something, maybe pizza, but it has not been mentioned how many I had. I had enough of it. I am not specifying what quantity. So when I'm not specifying the quantity, I again use in. I had enough of it, so I'm using in, and it is coming before the verb. Okay. Then the next one is il, y, a. So if you are telling this, then it means there is or there are. So basically, you are telling that there is something, there is this thing is lying, this is on the desk or something, there is. So when you are telling there is, you are specifying the part of the location, and that is why we are using il via, because when we studied about the rules, it talks about at a place on time. So about it, at it. Okay, that's why there is. The next one is tu, te, a, cones. So these are n. Okay, this is I. Utana cones, and it means do you know about it? So basically, a question: do you know about it? About it, at it, we are going to use what? Why? And we have used also. Okay, that is why. Now, the last one is on a parley. So basically, parley means to talk. It's coming from parlor, the infinitive form, and when I say on a parlor, it means we are talking about it. So if you remember, when we are talking about it, we are thinking about it, we usually write in. I have covered this part also. So if we just go back and see where we actually did, so give me a second, it should be here. So we actually wrote here. So pencil there to think about it, right? And this one says we are talking about it. So because we have the similar part, it is the most famous sentence. Okay, all right. So now that we have covered this, let's us go back to the question and solve that up. So let me just hide this board. All right, so let's go through this once. I'll just read it quickly because we have already covered. So it says the others want cinema. So cinema is some place which have been introduced by oh. So what it means is is again if you know this stand for a. We have covered this in past, I think third class or something. So this has been a place which is introduced by moi je ne pass envy to go. So I don't like to go there. So we have to replace this. And because we just studied the rules, it says that when we have a place which is introduced by to, so we generally use why. Okay. Now we will move further. So it says en wo are bowling. So are we going for bowling? What do you think about it? Now the phrase is pensar here, which means to think, to have an opinion about something. And generally en is used to replace that phrase. We have seen it on whiteboard. So what I'm going to write here is en. Now it is asking again to us and with the other. So do would you like to go? Now it is talking about where would I like to go. So would you like to go to bowling? So to bowling, if you see here, it was introduced here, and I told you AU introducing this, and bowling is the place. So now it is asking to us and with the other. So do you want to go to bowling with me? So basically you have to write why here. Okay. Then it says oh, so rencontre directement. So it is basically talking that where will you meet me up, at least at what place, where. So uh, basically it is not uh, saying at what place you are coming from, but rather at what place you will meet me. So what we have to do here again, we have to write why only, because bowling is the place which has been introduced by oh, and then he's again asking that where will you meet me, encounter. Okay. Then it says pass through to disons 5 p.m. and then it says J Bikup the homework. So it says that it has to do the homework, and now this homework has been replaced because it says do you have any. So the homework was the voice which was coming from this word, and it never mentioned how much quantity of homework was given. So we have to write en here. Okay. This is how exactly you solve this part. So the only thing to remember when you are solving these kind of problem in the exam, that you just have to uh, generally use why when it comes to a location. So I'm telling you the precise rule in order to actually get through it. So just in case if you are not understanding anything, if there is a location which is introduced by then just replace it with y. And if there is something which talks about a quantity or a phrase which start with the, so in this case it the y, the homework started with it. So you just use en in that case. Okay. All right. I think this video will again get little longer, so we still have a lot of questions to solve. I'll do one thing, I'll make another video for the rest of the question, and uh, by the time you have, you just practice with these videos. And thank you for watching.